Speaker of the National Assembly, Raphael Trotman, has issued a strong reaction to the latest action by the PPP Civic Administration for the court to pronounce on the budget cuts. The Speaker declared that the continued resort to the High Court to question legitimate decisions of the National Assembly points to the grave and gathering danger of a constitutional crisis, which has the potential to assume proportions the like of which the nation has never seen and may be unable to handle. Trotman said this latest High Court action brings into question and possible derision the very constitutional pillars upon which our democracy is founded, as it strangely asserts that the timeless, sacred, and sacrosanct function of the National Assembly to approve public spending is only perfunctory. Opposition APNU MP Dr. Rupert Roopnarine insisted that the move to the courts is another attempt by the Attorney General to have the court trespass in the House.
You know, cuts is too shorthand for a very elaborate process that is actually outlined in the standing orders. Before you can make an amendment to the estimates, you have to submit that amendment 24 hours before. And members of the opposition cannot make an amendment to raise anything, but we can make amendments to reduce or to cut, as the case may be. We went through all of those procedures. All of the amendments tabled by the AFC and the APNU were circulated 24 hours before, as required by the standing orders. So if what they are saying now is that the standing orders somehow or the other are in contravention of the Constitution, I presume that Mr. Nandalal is going on another fishing expedition in the courts.
AFC MP Kemraj Ramjachan is preparing a vigorous defense of what appears to him to be an abuse of power by the ruling PPPC administration.
It is an abuse of the process of the law. That is to begin with, in relation to parties. But the meritorious arguments too, in relation to what is going to be the matter that we in the Parliament ought not to have reduced. The thing is a perversity to say that we do not have the capacity in Parliament and the authority to go and reduce a budget. The articles in the Constitution make it quite clear. It's the National Assembly that has to vote on an appropriation bill. And further, it says that before we vote on the appropriation bill, an estimate has to be brought, and the estimate has to be deliberated on. Article 216 to 220 got it clear. And even our standing orders indicate that you got to give 24 hours notice of cuts. So how are you going to say now that we don't have an authority to cut?
The PPPC government on Tuesday filed an ex parte action in court challenging the budget cuts, quoting several sections of the Guyana Constitution. Even the Minister of Finance is cited as a defendant. The government, through the head of the Presidential Secretariat, is essentially arguing that under the Constitution, specifically Article 218, the National Assembly has the power to approve the budget, but not to attach what is tantamount to a line item veto to it. Basically, the government wants the court to declare that the National Assembly has to either approve or disapprove of the whole budget, not parts thereof.